I saw that and I mentioned it. Now, yesterday when I made the notification for this program, I told people that we are going to look at some of the reasons why the police force is unable to attract and retain suitable ranks. And that is based on a statement, it was reported in the Kaicho News a few days ago that the acting, not I say acting, the extended squatter said cybercrime, recruiting and retaining police officers among challenges facing the police force. That's according to the extended squatter. Somebody say that it's a brick standard. I believe it's even lower than brick standard, I believe, and what kind of brick? Clay brick? What type of brick? Let me know what type of brick you're talking about. Because remember, they got gold bar and gold brick too, So let's see. And they're saying that they have problems recruiting and retaining. And we would note, we mentioned it, that all the divisions seem to have been instructed to do recruiting. So they put out a flyer, several flyers in the division with a lot of wrong spelling, a lot of wrong grammar, and all sort of things. And somebody wrote, I saw something last night or this morning, to say that, all right, the mistakes were made. And this thing is still up. Nobody decided, well, look, we make a mistake, we're going to pull it down. We're going to pull down this advertisement that spelled passport wrong, that spelled certificate wrong. And as we said last week, we sure it's a mistake. Because the word passport appears twice. It is spelled correctly on one occasion. On the other occasion, it is spelled P-A-S-T, P-O-R-T. So a mistake, clearly. Certificate spelled correctly one time, the other time it is spelled incorrectly. And we said that tells you that proper checks are not being made. And then they tell you to walk along with your certificate and all sort of crap. They're saying this thing. But they are, and then let me tell you what the extended squatter is alleged to have said. And then again, this is the Kaicho News. Said a complex issue ranging from persistent threat of drug trafficking to the increasing prevalence of cyber crimes and digital security amidst a resource constraint. That's what he pointed to. He pointed to the complex issues. Let me read back the whole thing. Akin was at the time speaking, start from the top. Acting Commissioner of Police Akin on Thursday said cybercrime, the recruitment and retention of officers are among the challenges facing the Guyana Police Force. Akin was at the time speaking at the opening ceremony of the Guyana Police Force's annual officers conference held at the Police Officers Mess, Ivlery, Georgetown. He said, though the force has taken several steps to address crime, the top cop said, with all of this, let us not underestimate some of the challenges we face. He said he pointed to the complex issues ranging from persistent threat of drug trafficking to the increasing prevalence of cyber crimes and digital security amidst a resource constraint. Akin said that the main cybercrime challenge faced is the ever-increasing negative social media influence. Hear what the commissioner acting, the extended squatter, said at the opening conference as reported in Kaicho News. He said, he's reported to have said that the main cybercrime challenge faced is the ever-increasing negative social media influence. My Lord, that is what the man who sits in the chair saying. So social media influence, according to him, is the main cybercrime challenge. So social media influence is a cybercrime. And we talked about it before. As soon as we come and they tell you something, it's cybercrime. So but he's confirming that in an official opening of his officers' conference. He goes on to say, however, the top cop noted that apart from the crime-fighting challenges, the force has internal challenges. Internal challenges? What are you telling me? They're telling you something you know? What we know? And they said, it's quoted here, we have also confronted internal challenges, including recruitment and retention issues, officers' wellness concern, and greater diversity and inclusivity with our ranks. To combat some of these challenges, Ikin spoke about integrating technology in the force policing methods. Ikin said that this could be done through the adaptation of advanced analytics, artificial intelligence, and predictive tools. And then, coming down at the bottom, the president said, we have to look at this together. All three branches of government, I think, must have conversation on AI, artificial intelligence, and where artificial intelligence is going, because it would affect the judiciary. It's already affecting the judiciary internationally. It will affect the executive, of course, and it would affect legislation. That's what the president said. Can you imagine that a man who is sitting in the commissioner's chair, we refer to him as the extended squatter, will tell people that the main cybercrime challenge faced is the ever-increasing negative social media influence. My God, that is what he is reported to have said. And I hear anybody push back on here. That is not anybody push back. But before I go on and bring in Mr. Economy, we have other things to talk about. You gotta show your appreciation, you know. You're not giving me this thumbs up. All this talk I talk in my mouth dry. And all you need to do is to listen attentively and give me a thumbs up, man. Go there now. Show some love. Show some love for the two presenters, man. Y'all telling me in the comments how we are doing so well. But you got to show. Go on the screen there now and hit the, give me a thumbs up. If you love us, give me a little love, man. Show me some love. Right? Show me. Thanks. I see the numbers are going up now. But you got to do that all the time, man. Show. Don't let me just talk like that. Show that we are appreciated. Go and give us this thumbs up. We don't have enough as yet. And I'm thinking about going on strike with the teachers until such time that I get like 100 more within the next minute or so. I want to go on strike. So please, if you feel that I ain't doing well enough, maybe you can just decide, no, you're not, give me the thumbs up. Give me the thumbs up. It's there on the screen. Go on the program. Yeah, it's mounting now. Let me move on though. And I wouldn't strike, you know. I ain't going to strike. I am not going to strike. Right? Because I recognize that you need the information. Some people get the thumbs up on the chat, but why you also do it on the screen? Because that is what's going to reflect on the algorithms and so on. So yeah, now let me tell you, to go back to the same issue with the thing, there are several reasons why people are not joining the force. Several reasons. Let me identify some of them for you. Let me identify some. And Mr. Conway is going to do so as well. First of all, the Guyana Police Force is a politicized and a weaponized organization. Ministers running the show. They intervening in a given direction. The force no longer has independence. So that is a turn off. Why people are leaving and why people are not joining. The weaponization of the force to go after persons perceived to be against the government. And he said it there, you know, he alluded to it in the statement when he said cybercrime challenges faced is the ever-increasing negative social media influence. That is what he said. Right? And then when you go on, you talk about the clear discrimination in relation to promotion. People are in the job for a long time and qualified, and they're not getting promoted. A phone call and somebody get. Look, let me tell you this. And as I said, when I speak from a position of authority and I get the evidence. When the goodly Bishop Finlay, on the 1st of July 2022, remember he said, okay, at the sideline of the 4th anniversary church service, when he was confronted, he said, we aren't dealing with promotion yet. We have to go through files and all of that. This is on the 1st of July. The 2nd of July, 200 and something promotions came out. Right? A few days after, a certain police inspector, I'm giving it to you all real this morning, you know. A certain police inspector go to certain places and cry. And then they send a message to say that he's also promoted. So some telephone call made, and he was promoted outside of that list of 200 and something. So political interference all the time. I told you about the matter where Courtney Ramsey was recommended for promotion by the Senior Promotion Board. It went to the Service Commission. They approved it. And then when it went at certain places in Brickdam and Rap Street, his name was removed and other names were included. Or other name was included. He took them to court. He challenged, he took the Police Service Commission to court. And when he took them to court, they said that one of the reasons that he wasn't considered for promotion was because he was close to retirement. He did his research, and his lawyer was able to show the judge that there were 2 senior superintendents who were on leave prior to retirement and were promoted to the rank of assistant commissioner, 2 of them. He also showed them that there was a retired assistant commissioner. He had retired, and they brought him back to be at the OPR, and he was promoted to supernumerary deputy commissioner. Don't ask for his ethnicity. Don't ask his ethnicity. So people outside determining the promotion, so that is what's going on. And I remember being chairman of the Police Service Commission. I told them plain. I said, I don't want anybody call me or any other member of the Police Service Commission to put in a word for nobody. You're going to be promoted based on your performance. And I went forward to say that if anyone calls me to make representation on you or your behalf, I will view that as corruption on your part, and that might be a debar from you being promoted. So don't get nobody to approach the Police Service Commission. Because remember, we said before that monies used to be paid. I have the evidence. People paid money to be promoted. People paid money to be promoted. So yeah, that is part of the problem. And then let me talk about the indigenization of the police command structure. That has caused a lot of riffles. People frightened to talk, but they're whispering. So you have a case now where of the divisions you have in the force, the regional divisions, Regional Division 1, Regional Division 2, Regional Division 3, Regional Division 4B, Regional Division 4C, Regional Division 6, and Regional Division 8 are all commanded by Indo-Guyanese police officers, some of them with little experience, no experience, and not suited for the position. And the others, and that is at the expense of the Afro counterparts. I mean, you talk this thing and say you're talking race. You're not talking race. You're talking facts. Facts. So they have Indianized the command structure, and it is causing a lot of problems because the people that know nothing, these are the people we're talking about who send in file. Who send in file. That's forward for legal advice. They can't read no statement and read no file to see the elements of offense is there. You have a man who is the divisional commander, Regional 4B. That is a man who arrested the lawyer for advising our client to remain silent. The lady, Tamika Clark, is now a magistrate. And you want to tell me those things are not going to demoralize other ranks who are competent and know that the only reason those people are in those positions is because of political interference and political direction. Then you have, I mentioned it some time ago about the low salaries and allowances. Police force, a constable join the work, I think he getting like about $110,000 a month. Security companies are advertising for security ranks to join at a starting salary of 120-something, 30-something thousand with leave and all sort of privilege and benefits and so on. So what you expect? You got a pull factor, especially now. You got a pull factor in the mushrooming security companies that are offering better conditions than the police force. You also have the police long hours. I don't know if they got 8-hour shifts anymore. Long hours, 12 hours and all of that, right? Thankless job they are made to do. They've been disrespected by many persons, including officers, the supervisors, disrespected by them. Ranks, the morale is very, very low. They're cussing them out, including the extended squatter. The people complain about abuse and they're cussing them out and all of that. That is part of the problem. So nobody is going to come into that. And those who are there will leave. Arbitrary transfer of ranks, arbitrary and in many cases illegal transfer of ranks. We made the point here some time ago about a senior police officer who attempted to launder $16.5 million through the police credit union. And when the ranks who are there perhaps drew the rules and regulations, he transferred them, which is illegal. Let me understand this, because the police credit union, like all other credit unions, are financial institutions and have to be managed separately from the run-of-the-mill force activities. They have a board of director which is supposed to deal with those issues. But this man, because he's in a powerful position, he transferred them. He attempted to launder $16.5 million. And when the ranks drew to his attention the rules, money laundering laws and all of that, and actually had the money returned, he then removed them. Let them challenge that. He removed them. And according to my advice, my research, that is illegal. The police credit union, like all other credit unions, including the public service credit union, have all of these problems, they are financial institutions under the laws of Guyana. And therefore, the management has to be separate and distinct from the regular management of the force. So no way a senior police officer should pick up a phone and have those persons removed, all because they're doing their duty, all because they're doing the correct thing. And that must be demoralizing, because everybody know one, that the officer attempted to launder money through the credit union, which to me is a crime. Up to now, I'm not aware that any investigation at all is being done, and then the ranks being transferred, that compounds the whole matter. Then you have a case, and not only that case, other cases, people transferred to the interior, transfer willy-nilly. You get your family on the coast, and because somebody don't like you, they tell you you're transferred to some far place, entering Bang or someplace. So you gotta make a decision. Are you gonna leave your family unprotected to go and say you're protecting other people? Or you're gonna leave the job and protect your family members? And those are decisions that people have been making. Then you have here too, we are talking about the senior people involved in criminal activities, not only the money launderer, but remember, not so long ago, Boscom made allegation that a certain senior officer took $30 million from a certain businessman to cover up the paper charge murder. So you think the ranks are not seeing these things? You don't think that these things are demoralizing the members of the force, and decide, well, I don't want to be associated with this, because a lot of ranks are honest and dedicated ranks. So when these things are happening, they decide, I don't want to be, I don't want the stench of the type of corruption to come on me, so they move on. Then you have, you got a frequent assault. If you look around up to over the weekend, a man beating up the police in uniform, and a man beating up the police on the road. And what happened? You ain't hear no statement from the extended squatter. You ain't hearing the police association coming out and representing their ranks and let people know that this will not be tolerated and taking action against those perpetrators. Nothing. So the ranks more or less feel that they are on their own when they go out there. They're on their own when they go out. Then you have the lack of public confidence in the force. Despite what they say, it is a fact that the public lacks confidence in the Guyana Police Force. And once the public lacks confidence in the Guyana Police Force, it becomes very difficult for you to do police work. Very, very difficult. Police work requires that you have to have confidence. The people have to have confidence in you. That's the only way they're going to give you information. That's the only way you're going to hear what is going on. They're going to tell you, they give statement, they go into the witness box and give evidence. When they lack confidence because of lack of confidentiality and all of these things, what do you expect? What do you expect will happen? If we talk about interference in the force by politicians, the same case I referenced earlier, Tamika Clark. Who instructed for Tamika Clark to be released? Who? The Attorney General. He said that she was arrested, and the Attorney General said that he called and he told them to let her go. Not the commissioner, the Attorney General, and then he sought to say that as a legal advisor or some crap like that. He has no authority to call and say a person should go on bail. None whatsoever. But he did that. So what do you expect? And there's only one matter that got skin up, as we say. Can you imagine how many other matters ministers are intervening? We learned about one some years ago, I think it was last year, where Scores Bobbies, where a minister was coming on, it was a roadblock, and he abused the ranks because his vehicle was stopped. He abused the ranks and went his merry way. What happened? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. So when you think about ranks being abused and all that, and you're asking why you have difficulty in retaining rank, I understand that ranks are leaving in droves. Some are resigning, Some of them are just walking off the job. Some are resigning. Some are walking off the job. Mr. Conway, I said a mouthful on this. I'm sure you have some things to say. We are 1 hour and 45 minutes already. We got to hustle and close out. But that doesn't mean that I'm going to curtail you. Go ahead.
All right. Let me just backtrack a bit, because we talk about the advertisement that they had for the persons to join the force applicants. Perhaps their computer don't do spell check, or nobody know but spell check. And then the offenses, cybercrime, drug trafficking, that the extended squad to talk about that, that is challenging. I repeat, drug trafficking and cybercrime. And when you look at it, those are not serious offenses. When the police categorizing the serious offenses, they're doing an analyzing drug trafficking and cybercrime are not listed. We go now to the recruitment. They're saying that you gotta be CXC at CXC level. They didn't say how much CXC you gotta get. They didn't say the grades you gotta get or what combination. Sometimes people might say English will include English and math. They just say CXC level. So if in 1973, if that they had this system in place, I would not have been in the job. Paul, you would have not have been in the job because we are all products of the primary school education. And the the process that they're using, you go to Zara. Perhaps Zara, maybe Zara is a savior to the police. Everything is there because Zara built some computer centers, everything. The learner driver package is Zara. Now the examination, you go to Zara center and they conduct the examinations. You know, they and what they're doing, you know, let each division or each division has his own standard in terms of recruitment. Because when you look at them, they have different things. Now, if you're gonna recruit, why not go back to the old time where we used to have call a recruitment that maybe you use a school or some other place. And what about have they done away with the walk-in interview? People used to walk into Larry any time of the day and do interview and write the exam. Perhaps they have done away with that. So, and I must tell you, the walk-in interview in my time, we used to get more persons in the walk-in interview than when we went outside at schools and other places and all do the tests. And who is really interviewing those persons? Are they trained to detect certain things? Are they trained to detect certain kind of behavior that they could nip it in the bud? Yeah? Because police work is about behavior. The major phenomenon that the police has to deal with is behavior. You have to deal with the behavior of your superiors, your peers, your subordinate members of the public, the criminals, your own family. And behavior is a major trait that you have to look into. That person will come in with a whole set of CXC, but they're psychopaths. That the kind of thing that they would display isn't fitting for the force. So you just interview them by asking questions. So you gotta put them in situations, put them in scenarios, like what I know some Caribbean countries be doing. You call assessment centers. You put them in scenarios so that you can test behavior. You could see how they behave, and so you could weed out those with unacceptable behavior very early. The whole thing is that they need to revamp the whole recruitment process, and they need to check and see, hey, how many persons leave the job during the training, and how many persons leave the job after about 2 years. About 2 years. A lot of things that they have to do, and the thing is about persons have lost public confidence in the police force. And when you look at it, not a woman. You talk about retention, recruitment and retention. Not a woman in this Guyana police force is a senior superintendent. more so an assistant commissioner, not a woman. Perhaps the women not qualified enough to become at least a senior superintendent. All those are frustration in the thing in the Guyana Police Force that people don't want to join the police force. Women, by the only get superintendent in the force, I can't reach farther than anything. That they need to look at the whole recruitment process, and I will write something from this sometime this week in terms of the recruitment process, because what they're doing there is total nonsense, and they don't have people to assess people. And if you're asking for CXC level, you'll end up having a, a lesser quantity of persons joining the police force, although you should really look at quality. But the whole thing, Paul, in working good. And then we look at, let me just branch off a bit, because I saw a photograph in relation to International Women's Day, a photograph of the squatter saying something there. What are they there? So what happened with the Guyana Association of Women Police? They don't have any. They don't have a chairman. Somebody, maybe the chairman of the Guyana Association of Women Police should have been there, not an extended squatter. So what really are we saying? I don't know if that association is functioning. I remember Maxine Graham used to function there, and I remember Grace used to function there too. So the whole thing. Look at it. What is the extended squatter doing there? He's squatting there. A woman should have been there. But then I can't put women because they're ashamed to put a superintendent because he's the highest ranking person they got. That's all I need to say for the world, man.
The picture we're showing you there, that is International Women's Day. And they thought the best person to put to portray this International Women's Day thing is this picture you